Tonight is kind of special.
So long, fellas.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I'm hot, cold, thirsty. Call me a cab.
10 minutes, I'll have you back at the lodge.
I can't make it.
10 minutes, I'll have you back at the lodge drinking a Lowenbrow.
I can make it.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Where would I be without you guys?
Probably still out there in the snow somewhere.
Introducing the Cougar XR7. It's available with more than 60 special features that let you create something special. The Cougar XR7 from Lincoln Mercury. It's not like everybody else's car.
Here we see again, Hunter has got position, but the toughest thing is when a receiver, especially a big guy like Steve, is in front of you. He can't get his left arm in trouble, but his right arm does the work right there, knocks the ball away, and of course that's an excellent defensive play by Hunter.
Ready now for the kickoff, Neil O'Donoghue to do the honors. Williams is deep, so is Kane. Coming down on Williams' side, he fields it on the run at the 8-yard line, back toward this side of the field. He reaches back at the 7 or 8-yard line and almost ran over one of the officials in so doing.
Well, I tell you, I can hear the films on Monday. Monty saying run north and south and not east and west when you're running back a kickoff or a punt.
He almost took care of Cal Lepore on that play too, the referee.
Of course, as you mentioned, Jeff Lee was right down there and did his job, but of course you don't want to, once you see that opening up the middle, break back to the left and get yourself in trouble, and that caused a 15-yard loss right there.
Very critical possession here for the Lions. They need now more than ever a long ball control drive to run some of that time off the clock. They have a first down at their own 7. They go to Billy Sims. Sims around the right side, out of bounds at the 16, maybe the 17-yard line. So good yardage picked up on that play as Sims gets 7 or 8. Steve Neal's number 53 finally runs him out of bounds with an assist from Charles Baker, number 52.
You know, Lee Nelson was, I could see him shaking his head and saying something to himself. His responsibility on every play, there's a man responsible to force a run. Sometimes it's a strong safety. It might be a cornerback or it might be a linebacker. That time, Sims accelerated around Nelson, who was responsible for the wide run that time.
Sims has now rushed for 43 yards on 18 carries. He's got that rushing average above 2 per carry. Dexter Bussey trying to pick up the first down for the Lions, which he should have at the 20-yard line. When do you say force now? You mean going outside?
Well, there's a man that has to come across that line of scrimmage to prevent the wide run, and you change up your ability to do it. Sometimes you bring a cornerback up to waiting outside, or a linebacker might loop to the outside, or a strong safety will run across the line of scrimmage and to prevent the wide run, and that time Nelson got beat by Sims.
Lions have the first down and a little breathing room now at their 20-yard line. 9 minutes 40 seconds left to play in the game. Detroit leading by 6. Bussey up the middle for a couple of tough yards out to the 22. Rush Brown, the nose tackle, number 69, and Calvin Favron, number 59, on the stop for St. Louis. It'll be 2nd and 8. At Chicago Bear game, Vince Evans has thrown for 316 yards. He has hit 18 out of 22. That's the most yardage for Chicago passer since 1970. Speaking of 1970, that's the last year that the Lions were in the playoffs. Trying to remedy that this year. Danielson, good protection, goes to Bussey, 20, 25, and close to the first down marker at the 30-yard line. He's about a yard short.
Well, that's good hard running by Bussey right there. The ball was thrown behind him, but he made the catch, spun back around, lowered his head, and just went right through to St. Louis defensive people. Watch this great move right. He spins back around, and then he busts into Neal's right there. Bam, gets about 2 or 3 extra yards, and that's going to set him up for a very short 3rd down for the first down.
3rd down, they need to cross the 30-yard stripe. The white stripe you see there just in front of the ball. to pick up the first down and keep this drive going. 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Cardinals need to get the football back. They trail by 6. And Danielson tried to keep it. And is stopped back at the 25.
In full, Steve Niels.
Steve Niels, number 53, coming up with what could very well turn out to be a key defensive play.
Here he is right here. It's a bootleg all the way. He tries to get outside, and Niels is not fooled, and Allen's out there, and also Nelson.
That's very alert play.
Yes.
I mean, you figure sure they're going to go with Sims or Bussey up the middle.
Niels stayed at home, and
they had 3 people out there. Tom Skladany, who last week threw a pass to Bussey for a very big first down against the Chicago Bears. He's the punter.
I would not look for a pass right now.
Low snap.
Low kick.
Roy Green will return this one from his own 35. Up to the 40, 45. And to midfield goes Green. The Cardinals trail by 6, but they have excellent field position at midfield. 7 minutes, 38 seconds left to play in the game. 23-17, Detroit.
Hello?
Who's that?
Dad!
Hi, Chucky. Hi, sweetheart.
Who are you?
Daddy!
Hey, Ellen. Hey, everybody. I'm home for dinner.
Give us a second to get over the shock.
When Rudy and his brother started a construction company, working late seemed to become a way of life. The better business got, the more there was to do, with less time to do it in. Then they bought a low-priced IBM computer, the 5120, the perfect computer for small companies with big plans. It helps prepare job estimates, track costs.
Hello. Look, do me a favor. Check the concrete cost, huh?
Okay, hold on.
Figure equipment needs, and material needs.
Under by $2,400.
IBM never stops searching for new ways to make difficult jobs easier, so people can do more important things, like go home for dinner.
It's going to be strange eating a dinner that hasn't been reheated.
We could wait a while and let it get cold.
Daddy!
IBM, helping put information to work for people.
Another look at the punt return and also at Leonard Thompson, who tries to tackle Green without his helmet. He'll come in from the right side here.
Yeah, he loses his helmet about 10 yards back. He keeps going, doesn't worry about the helmet. Tries to make the play. Now he chases him again from behind. He misses him right here. And Green busts through everybody. One of the Cardinal offensive linemen, Steve, runs right into him.
That's a tough enough game without trying to tackle people without your helmet. Great job by the Cardinals on the return. Excellent field position. They're moving from the 50 for what would be the go-ahead score if they can possibly reach the end zone. Otis Anderson getting the call down to the 47-yard line. A pickup of 3. It'll be second down 7. Cowboys have added a field goal. Rafael Septien in the second period. They lead Oakland 10-7. You're telling me the Raiders can beat the Cowboys in that game and the Philadelphia-Dallas game is still for everything?
Yes, because of the interconference tiebreaker, assuming that Dallas would lose to Los Angeles.
Don't confuse me. Second down and 7. I'm glad you have those things figured out, Roger. Wayne Morris down to the 42-yard line to be 3rd and 3.
I mentioned to you, if Dallas loses Los Angeles, then it's not a factor. If they beat Los Angeles, and of course Philadelphia lost Atlanta, which is in the conference, then the last game does become all the marbles were on the game.
I would imagine most of these folks, like Jim Hannafin, are more concerned with what's happening here.
We could get into Detroit's tiebreaker system here, which is very complex, but we won't do it because the game is too interesting right now.
3rd down and a long 2 for the first down for the Cardinals at the Lion 42. Anderson is stopped cold at the line of scrimmage. In fact, behind the line.
I'll tell you, Bubba Baker is an excellent football player, not only rushing the passer, but he does a good job at the line of scrimmage, and he just whacked Otis Anderson, and Otis isn't getting up.
Anderson has taken a lot of punishment this season. He usually gets up, walks slowly back to the huddle, and then goes again. But he really took a shot by the right side of that Detroit defensive line, led, as you said, by Big Al Bubba Baker. Timeout.
How does one become a member of the U.S. ski team? First, you have to be great on hills. Then you need the endurance to overcome tough obstacles cross-country. Finally, you have to earn your right to be called a champion. And then, and only then, will you be accepted to the United States ski team, like the Subaru four-wheel drive wagon, official car of the U.S. ski team.
I'll try almost anything. So when Mattel Electronics asked me to compare their Intellivision games with Atari, I gave it a try. I compared Atari baseball with Intellivision and found Intellivision played much more like real baseball. Then I compared Atari football with Intellivision. Again, Intellivision played more like the real game. In my opinion, if you try them both, there's only one conclusion you can come to. Intellivision from Mattel Electronics.
Hurry.
Ray Williams making the fair catch of Swider's punt, and Detroit takes over at the 10-yard line. No surprise they didn't go for it?
Well, there's still a lot of time left, Frank. It was 4th and 4, so that was a good strategy, good move.
5 minutes, 59 seconds left to play in the game. Again, the Lions in command. They have a 6-point lead, but poor field position. Back at their 10, they'd like to run off a lot of that clock right now. Just hang on to the football. Dexter Bussey getting a block from Sims. And out to the 15-yard line. Sims showing that he blocks as well as runs and catch passes. As for a change, he leads the way for Dexter Bussey. Ron Jankowski and Tim Carney making the stop.
Bollischweiler had a good block, and it gave Bussey the ability to kind of just squirt inside. And instead of losing a yard or two, he squirted inside and actually picked up about 4.5 yards.
Second down, let's call it 5 for the first down. Lions at their 15-yard line. Gary Danielson, 12 out of 24 in the game. Bussey short of the first down, stopped at the 19-yard line. He needed to net the 21 to pick up the first down. Super Sports Saturday on CBS. You've got that Giants-Redskins game that Roger and I have been talking about, and then for you golf fans, a late season treat, the Mixed Team Golf Classic from down in the Tampa Bay area. That is going to be an outstanding golf tournament. Then the CBS Sports Spectacular, the World Junior Figure Skating Championship, the Great American Truck Race, full afternoon of sports on CBS next Saturday.
Well, you hear the cliche big plays, but this is a beauty right here. 3rd and 1, back in your own territory.
Billy Sims fell down.
Well, he fell down, but someone had, I think Lee Nelson, number 38, had a little bit to do with that. Here it is, Sims off tackle to the right. He's coming right, he slips a little bit, but he sees Nelson and tries to cut back too quick, and Nelson really had a lot to do with that play.
So the Lions, for the 2nd straight series, fail on a 3rd and short yardage situation to pick up critical first downs that would keep that clock going. 4 minutes left to play in the game. Skladany back to do the punting. Roy Green is deep, standing on his own 40. Lions lacking the killer instinct here in the 4th period. They're leaving the door open for the Cardinals, who are just 6 behind. Green fields this at his 43, 45, 50, 40, 35, 30.
All the way.
Skladany chasing him. He's gone. No flags. Touchdown.
I'll tell you, these specialty teams have a lot to do with this game. That's 2 weeks in a row now that they've hurt Lions. And, of course, the Lions have a chance to come back with 3:40 to go. But that's something you don't want to see. That specialty team ought to be down there hungry and stop that play and force St. Louis to do something. But St. Louis, excellent protection. Nice run by Roy Green. He splits the middle. It's a kick. It's not really a good kick. It's not bad enough to create a touchdown situation, but Green makes the most of it. He's got good speed. Last year he ran 106 yards for a touchdown. I think that tied a record, and here we have a 57-yard punt return that puts St. Louis ahead with the extra point.
O'Donohue rifles it through, and the the Cardinals have taken the lead with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the game. It's St. Louis 24, Detroit 23.
What to give a pain in the neck for Christmas? Well, nice hot water and massage are well-known soothers of muscular aches and pains. Therefore, the makers of the best-selling pulsating shower head suggest the shower massage by Waterpick. But if no one on your list has an occasional pain, surely you know someone who could stand some good, clean fun.
This is what the experts said about Subaru front-wheel drive cars in 1980. A structural package bristling with near Mercedes solidity, car and driver. Many similarities to BMW, both inside and out. Popular science. Reliable, inexpensive to maintain, road and track. And in our opinion, Subaru for 81 is even better. Subaru, inexpensive, and built to stay that way.
Near capacity house in St. Louis still buzzing over that punt return by Roy Green, and so the Lions have been bitten now by their own specialty teams for the second time in as many games, unless they can come back offensively and pull this out. Rick Kane will be deep along with Ray Williams, anticipating the kickoff of O'Donohue. Lions with two very critical third down short yardage plays couldn't pick him up. Once on Danielson's bootleg, the other time Sims carried. And the Cardinals have just run that punt back to take the lead. Williams out to the 10, 15, 20, 25. Up to the 27 or 28. Jeff McIntyre makes the stop for the Big Red. Now, let's see what the Detroit offense can do against this Cardinal defense in a crowd that is certainly fired up for the first time in this football game.
Well, I had a chance to talk to Coach Hannafin, and he's had some difficulties this year, and I asked what his attitude was, really being 4-9 and losing so many close games.
Well, Roger, just like anybody else, when you're 4-9, you're rather disappointed, and I know this, I'm speaking for the fellas too, but we feel good in certain ways. We've got a young football team. We've had some terribly close ball games, ones that could have gone either way, and unfortunately it didn't go our way. But what we're doing right now is getting ready for next season, and a win today certainly will help, and a win next week and the win of the final game of the season would be super.
Danielson doing some scrambling after failing to find a receiver on first down, picks up 5, run out of bounds by Steve Niels. Over on the far side, it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Lions at their 32.
Of course, the vulnerability of that St. Louis secondary has been that dead area of about 18 to 20 yards behind the linebackers and in front of the secondary, and I'm sure Danielson's going to be looking for that area again.
3 minutes 23 seconds left to play in the game. St. Louis leading Detroit 24-23. Danielson sends Scott in motion.
He's got it.
Back to throw. King caught behind the line and dragged down at the 25 by Tim Carney, number 56.
Well, Carney made a heck of a play. He had King man-to-man, and of course, if he gets away from Carney here, it's a good play for Detroit, but Carney stopped it because there's no one on the other side of Carney. King has got a lot of running room after Carney.
A loss of 6. It's 3rd and 11. And again, a critical third down for the Detroit Lions, who haven't been picking up those third downs in the last quarter, and it has cost them dearly. Cardinals have outscored Detroit 10-0, and Detroit is supposed to be the fourth period team. Danielson is smothered back at the 15-yard line. Curtis Greer, number 75, and Pollard, number 82. Greer, the former Michigan star, coming in to drop him back at the 16. That's the first quarterback sack for the Cardinals defensive line this afternoon. And now Sklanany will be punting from his own 1-yard line is where he'll be standing. Line of scrimmage is the 16, 2.5 minutes and counting. And Green fading back, waiting for the punt, standing on the 45 at his end of the field.
Oh, he boots this one.
Nice kick, driving Green way back to his 30. Roy Green.
Clip.
Dancing around. Flag is down. Green at the 25, dragged down at the 27, 28-yard line. Well, we've got a clip coming up against St. Louis, which means that they'll start this drive somewhere around the 15.
Yeah, this is a clip is on Gary Cobb gets clipped for Detroit. Here we see it right here. Gary Cobb is about ready to get into the play here, and he's just kind of pushed and clipped from behind, and it's Randy Love, number 40, that does the clipping.
And the flag quickly appearing in the picture. So now it'll be up to the Cardinals to see if they can control the ball, pick up a couple of first downs, and run the clock down. 1 point differential right here in a very big game for the Lions. In case you joined us late, Minnesota beat Tampa Bay this afternoon, coming from behind to do it in the second half. And right now have a half-game lead over Detroit, which would stretch to a full game if the Lions lose it.
We saw St. Louis a few weeks back, Frank, against Dallas, get a little bit conservative with a lead at the end of the game, and they got into a couple 3rd and 5s, and here we'll see the clip. It's on number 40.
Personal foul, clipping number 40 and number 35 on the return. It's a first down.
St. Louis ran the ball on a 3rd and 5 and a 3rd and 6, so I have a feeling if they get in any trouble right here, they're going to throw the football.
Nose of the football is spotted just inside the 15. First down, Cardinals. 2:03 left to play for Otis. Morrison has picked up 36 and 7 carries. They're both in there right now behind Jim Hart. Anderson stacked up at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and the clock runs down to the 2-minute warning. Actually, 1 minute and 59 seconds left to play in the game. Well, we've had fun here in St. Louis this afternoon, but it hasn't just been Roger and I. We've got a whole lot of folks helping us. The executive producer of NFL football on CBS, Charles H. Milton III, the second and the fourth, whatever he is.
Bob Rowe just went by with Jim Silman.
I didn't see him. And lots of the other fine people who do such a great job in sending pictures your way. A very fine football game, as we anticipated a good game.
There's been some tough games today around the league. Teams that had to win. Cleveland squeaked by the Jets, and of course Cleveland was in a big game, and Detroit needs this one. St. Louis is 4-9. They're out of it, and yet St. Louis has come to play, and Detroit in the second half has played well. They've missed those 3rd and 1s that, looking back, depending on what happens here in the last minute 59, could become very critical.
Rams losers to Buffalo today. Philadelphia lost to Atlanta. Key games throughout the NFL.
Minnesota fell behind against Tampa Bay 10-0. Came back to win that one. And of course San Diego's in a race out there with Oakland, and they go to Washington D.C. The Redskins can't get anything going offensively. They've just been stymied. Of course Theismann came back today. He's been out a couple of weeks and put about 40 points on the board against San Diego.
40-17 the final. Dallas is now leading Oakland 16-7 in the second period out on the West Coast. And look what the Bears did to the Packers. I assume that's now final 61-7. Second down 10. Cardinals with the football at their 14, protecting a 1-point lead with 1:59 left to play. Anderson caught again behind the line of scrimmage. This time dropped for a loss.
Big play. Charlie Weaver.
Oh, he's made a few in his day.
We haven't said a whole lot about Charlie today. He just plays pretty darn consistent. He's the veteran on that defense. Fantetti, White, Weaver give them good linebacking play. They're the 4th defensive team in the league, and they've done a good job on defense with a lot of new people on the defensive line.
Again, the final score in the Vikings-Bucks game, and you can see how the Vikings came back in the second half, scoring 21 points and holding Tampa Bay scoreless. And this means now that Minnesota has a half-game lead on Detroit, and that's why the Lions need this game so desperately to stay tied for first place in the NFC Central with just 2 games left to play. Lions utilizing 1 of their 3 timeouts, so they have 2 remaining. 2 timeouts left for Detroit. The Cardinals have all 3 of their timeouts left. 1 minute 55 seconds. And a key third down play, 3rd and 12 coming up for St. Louis. Keep in mind, Detroit and Tampa Bay meet next week. And the Cardinals play Philadelphia in regional action on CBS.
St. Louis is in the last 5 or 6 games have not hit 50% of the third down plays. Today they're 8 out of 16. So this will determine.
That's what's killed Detroit. Lions have been only 5 out of 15 on third down conversions. 3rd and 12. They stick with the ground game. Anderson.
Well, I tell you, Fantetti came over there and he said, "You're going nowhere." He had fire in his eyes. 40, Jimmy Allen also forced it, but it was again a conservative play. 3rd and 12. You're going to put your faith in your defense. Here's the pitch out, and of course Allen does a good job. He comes across, gives Fantetti enough time to come over and finish off number 40 right there, making a grab at him. But Fantetti, boy, he's got his football stance. He breaks down and has both arms around him and makes sure he doesn't squirm away.
4th and 11. The Lions have just used their 2nd timeout to stop the clock with 1:46. So they'll get the football back with about 1.5 minutes left to play and 1 timeout. And they need a field goal to win it.
Time is not a factor right here, really, when you have a field goal possibility and the kind of field position they should get out of this play.
Swider standing a yard deep in the end zone. Lions have 10 men at the line of scrimmage and have dropped Williams back awaiting the punt. They play return. Good kick. Williams back to his 36. Trying to get to the sideline to the 40 and is down at the 42-yard line.
Williams with the punt return, tackled by
Tonight on CBS starts with 60 Minutes. Then on Alice, Mel has a change of heart, but it is more than his heart can stand. All tonight on CBS, along with One Day at a Time and Jefferson's Trapper John. Great lineup. Archie Bunker.
I tell you, St. Louis needs a Trapper John out there right now. This series right here, Danielson's got 1:35 to go. He's got 1 timeout. He just wants to get this team in field goal position because they've got a fine kicker in Murray.
1st and 10, Detroit from their 41. Danielson over the middle. Caught. 1st down. In Cardinal territory at the 43-yard line, Ray Williams, the rookie, comes up with a big catch, and the Lions with the hurry-up offense rush up to the line of scrimmage as the clock continues to roll with 1:15. 16 yards picked up on that play. Here comes Danielson again, and a flag goes down. Let's see if we got a hold. It's going to be a hold, I believe, against Detroit.
It looks like it's going to be on Balderschwaller on Rush Brown. Here comes Rush Brown coming up the middle, and it's either on Balderschwaller or on Curtis Greer. Probably on Curtis. Balderschwaller on Curtis Greer. But the referee also blew the ball down.
Look at Greer, number 75. He's really fired up.
Well, the ball was blown down, so they'll probably decline the penalty.
Was in the grasp of a defender. We have holding on number 76. Offense. The penalty declines.
Balderschwaller it was. And Jim Hannafin now is hot on the St. Louis bench and yelling at the officials. Boy, the Cardinal coaches are really hot. They want the clock to start moving.
Well, there was a penalty that was declined.
2nd down and 19. Again, Danielson in trouble behind the line. Hits David Hill, the tight end, at the 40, and Hill drives forward to the 37-yard line. Great job by Danielson avoiding the rush. Baker, 52, making the stop.
This was a great play by Danielson right here. He's in trouble. There's a 3-man rush, so Danielson should have more time, but Rush Brown comes up the middle, and then Curtis Greer has a chance, and Danielson's in his grasp going down. Makes an excellent throw to Hill. He's lucky to get the ball out there, period. Of course, Hill caught the ball and really saved this drive.
Lions have just used their last timeout. They'd like to have saved it to get the field goal unit on, but that won't be the case right now. They're out of timeouts with 54 seconds left to play, and again they have a big third down coming up. They're looking at 3rd and 4. They have to reach the 33-yard line to pick up the first. They're at the 37.
They need to hit this play for the first down, 3rd and 5, run up to the ball and throw it out of bounds immediately so they can regroup.
Obviously right now they'd still be outside of the field goal range of Murray, but not by far. He's looking at probably a 55, 56-yard field goal from this point. He has kicked a 52-yarder this year. You saw Hannafin on the sidelines. He was really hot about the clock not starting. Officials, of course, because of the penalty, did not start the clock until the next snap, which is the rule. Nervous time here at Bush Memorial Stadium. Cardinals 24, Lions 23. 3rd down, 4 for the first down. At the 37, they give it to Sims. Sims reaches the 36-yard line, does not pick up the first, and now they can't stop the clock. They're going to have to get in there quickly. And
that was an interesting play right there.
Well, they can't throw it out of bounds either because this is 4th down.
They've got to go for it. They had 2 plays.
Oh, and Danielson falls down. Danielson slipped and fell going back. Well, you can analyze those last 2 play calls for a while, and I think the Detroit fans will probably do that.
We'll be talking about that one.
Look at Hannafin. He's got a victory in the bag now. The Lions are out of timeouts, and all the Cardinals have to do is sit on the ball for 2 plays.
You can look at it a couple of different ways, Frank. You get really a tough rush St. Louis has put on Danielson. They tried to skirt Sims inside and break it, and if he breaks him 15, 20 yards, the play looks good. Of course, he didn't. Now this time, of course, Danielson just slips and trips back there and realizes he's going down his 4th down and just throws the thing up.
Well, it's going to be an embarrassing situation to fall over your own feet as you go down in that critical 4th down pass. Jim Hannafin. Victories have been few and far between, so it would appear that the Lions will fall 1 game behind the Minnesota Vikings. But they're still not out of it because of the schedule. Keep in mind that Minnesota has 2 tough games against Cleveland, against Houston. Look at the scrap going on down here. Tempers flaring on the 2 sides. Clock continues to move. Game is over for all intents and purposes. The Cardinals don't have to run another play. Poor Barney Cotton, number 60, on the bottom of that pile. And Monty Clark, who has, in effect, seen his specialty teams do him in for the 2nd week in a row. This time on a punt return.
You're looking at 7-7, but again, your season is not over. They have a shot at the division. Minnesota's got to play Cleveland, and they've got to go to the Astrodome against Houston, and of course Detroit has 2 games coming up at home.
You question the 3rd down call with Sims running the football?
You look at it, the way the
no timeouts,
the way the pass rush has been going. If he squirts through for 15, 20 yards, they line up, throw it out of bounds. It didn't work. It didn't work. You can second guess it. It's a tremendous gamble to run the football with no timeouts left at 3rd and 5.
Turned into a great ball game, didn't it? Final score: Cardinals 24, Lions 23. For Roger Staubach, Frank Glieber saying so long from St. Louis. The NFL on CBS will continue after this word from your local station.
Who would dare to call Jim Rockford of the Rockford Files a crybaby? Find out when 60 Minutes looks at bookkeeping, Hollywood style, this evening on CBS.
The National Football League. These folks here would not like the idea of the Raiders leaving to go elsewhere.
This is only the 2nd sellout this season, right?
Right.
This is a short yardage situation, so you got the 2 big tight ends in there.
Derek Ramsey and Raymond Chester. That is a very true banner you just saw. The Oakland Raiders are only team to ever put together 16 consecutive winning seasons. Plunkett looks outside to Ramsey and has him. And that'll be enough for a Raider first down.
And Harvey Martin was really whistling in from the right defensive end spot. I don't know how Plunkett got it off.
That's the final score. The Cardinals beat the Lions 24-23. So Detroit now drops to 7-7. Minnesota improves their record to 8-6, and so the Vikings move into first place in the NFC Central. A quiet team that nobody thought would do anything, but somehow Buck Grant gets it done in Minnesota. Plunkett under pressure again, being chased, and throws deflected by Dennis Thurman.
The under safety man, again, they were in the what looked like was a nickel defense. Plunkett is scrambling extremely well, but notice the dirt and the grass stains on his back. When your quarterback's got that in the first half, he is having to work hard at it. The rush is coming, but he's handling it. He moves out now, but he's not doing it in panic. It's a pretty good throw. And Thurman makes a good play.
T.D. Lewis again on a blitz. It was intended for Chandler. Giants in Seattle now 13-7 second quarter. Giants leading.
Now you got the right formation. You got Branch in the slot and Chandler on this side.
And Morris Bradshaw out to the left. Plunkett. This time the protection was better. Plunkett again eludes him. Randy Hughes. Intended for Cliff Branch, and Randy Hughes, who came.
It's going to be interference call. The flag was dropped. The flag was dropped over near Steve Wilson, who was playing, but Hughes actually bumped into the receiver. Here it is, a big rush again. Man, there's some bodies being thrown around the line of scrimmage. Harvey Martin had the last shot, and Ed Too Tall Jones cut off that right before the picture picked it up, is when Hughes bumped into the receiver. That's Bradshaw over there.
That was Branch that time, but Bradshaw was in along with Bob Chandler. Bears and the Packers 61-7, and that's the final score.
Bears must like Thanksgiving Day celebrations.
Must be thinking about that point differential again. Got them into the playoffs last year, so the Bears remain alive. Their record is 6-8. Green Bay 5-8-1. Long trip back north. Plunkett out of bounds. Intended for Branch.
Branch trying to run the straight. Good coverage and double coverage. You just can't let Cliff Branch run around by himself. As we said, in high school he ran a 9.300. Went to Colorado and was one of the great returners, I guess, in the history of college football. He had an 80-some-odd yarder against the Eagles, and nobody even saw him. Went into a shadow and came out the other end with 80-some-odd yards.
By the way, with these playoff possibilities, and there are so many, with the fact that the Cardinals beat Detroit today, that assures Dallas of at least a wild card spot in the playoffs. Second and 10 at the 45 for Oakland. Plunkett drops again. Penalty marker down. High pass. Thurman almost had it again.
It might have been called for offensive holding, but I'll tell you that on the line of scrimmage, the pass blocking that time was tremendous. Because Dallas is really twisting and steaming, and Startner's got him hot to get to the quarterback. And Plunkett's getting pretty good protection. Let's see where the call is.
Sherry Mark Bright, the referee. Line of scrimmage, the 45. Mark it off.
When Dutton and Too Tall and Randy White are in there.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 65, offense, a blow to the head, second down.
That's Mickey Marvin, number 60.